Welcome to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week session. I'm James Nave. Thank you for tuning in.
I'm Allegra Houston. We record these videos every Saturday after meeting on Zoom with people. Anyone who wants to join us, anyone who wants to explore their imagination and write to a prompt with us.
And we gather every Saturday morning at 10 Mountain Time and noon Eastern Time. So if you would like to join us live and in person, you can always find the link at imaginativestorm.com.
So each time we offer a writing prompt. It's either an image or a sound file. Today it was an image, and we time the group, and we do this too. We do the same things everybody else does for 2 minutes, and we write a list of words or very short phrases, ideally very short, but sometimes only short. Whatever pops into your mind. So we will do this for you. We will show you the image and take 2 minutes, make a list of words, not joined up writing, just a list, whatever words pop into your mind. They don't have to have anything to do with the image. They don't have to have anything to do with one another. The more random, the better, right?
And so we're going to show you the image now, and so get ready to jot down images or phrases or words over your 2-minute time period.
Which starts now. So that image was actually one of the more recognizable images of all the ones we've chosen over the last 10 or 11 months that we've been doing this. It's a painting by Marc Chagall, the Russian artist, and it's called Birthday.
And now you have a list that you generated that's your list. And every Saturday morning what we do, we go around the Zoom room and ask each person participating to give us one image or one word from the list that they've made, and we compile that list into a community list. So we end up with the community list that we all share and work from, plus the individual list everybody works from as well. So what we would like to do now is read the community list to you, so you'll have the list we had this morning.
Here it is. Weightless. Stop. Shoes require feet. Ladder for room upstairs. Girl interrupted. Bending backwards for love. As the earthquake hit. Wait, my breakfast. Daydream deep throat dive. Art dreams. Rough healing. Paris on streets of carmine. Flight of fancy. Dreams of notorious RBG as a young woman. Eyes of surprise. If Picasso could kiss. Uh-oh, my husband will be home soon. Get out of my face. Loaded to your lips. Rat-a-tat spats. Lift my spirits. Primitive Paisley. Swept off his feet. Loving off the ground. Vanity. Kiss me, you fool. My darling. Head over heels.
So now you have a sense of what we experienced on the call today, plus you have your own list. So now it's time to
write for 10 minutes.
Write for 10 minutes. I got all excited about it. It's time to write for 10. It's time to write for 10 minutes. And the way you will do that is you have your community list as well as your individual list. And we encourage you to work with as many or as few of the words and images on the list as you have. So I'm a little.
It's entirely up to you. I'm going to take over for that one.
That was a good one. Yeah, I got confused. I was working with my own list, just like you will be in a second. So Allegra, help me out here.
Okay, so I feel why do I like this? Because when you have the community list, you can borrow or steal, if you prefer, or borrow from other people's imagination. You don't just have to rely on your own. So the result is that you write things that you would just simply never write otherwise. And you put images or ideas together that it's just simply would never happen if you didn't have these other words to work with. And we have, it's worth mentioning this because somebody did say to us once, but isn't that plagiarism? And it's not, it's not plagiarism because we give these words to each other. We give these words to the group as a gift. Please use them because this is what makes it fun. And this is what makes it original. And you will use those words that may have been contributed by other people. You will use them in a completely different way than those other people have used them. Just like if somebody makes a brick, it's the same brick, but you could build it. You could use it to build a palace. You could use it to build a small wall. You could use it to, build, a ziggurat, whatever you wanted.
And something else, just before you do this writing, I got confused just a minute ago. My imagination was rolling around. It was messy. So when you dive into this work, sometimes it's going to be messy. It's not going to be perfect. And our goal is to suggest to you to let your imagination rev up and not worry about the perfection. Just like I got a little flustered, and what happened? Allegra said, well, I'm going to take over now. So we worked as a team. So when you work with your imagination and your rational mind, it's a little bit like teamwork, working together. And so we say, keep it messy, and from that mess, something will emerge, an idea, a thought,
a combination of words.
It's really interesting how that works. So we don't try to have everything be clean and precise. We try to let everything kind of get messy, and then eventually, if we put it out in public, eventually you would edit it and you would make it more precise. But that comes way later down the line.
Well, that's why we like the 10 minutes, because it's absurd to think that what you write in 10 minutes is going to be good,
right,
or finished, or perfect in any way, or even have any particular shape. You might be surprised and write something that actually does feel kind of well-formed and coherent and cohesive. But that's not the goal. It's not necessary. All that we're after in these 10-minute writings is just to surprise ourselves, to find something new, to go down some, imaginative road, whatever.
There it is now. Speaking of the 10 minutes, how about you get your pen and get your paper and get ready to do your 10-minute writing?
And we should say, one other thing I do want to say before you start, you don't have to use all of the words from the community list. You don't have to use any of the words from either list. It's nice to sort of let your eyes roam randomly over the list and kind of, grab something to start with. But if you head off away from the list down some imaginative road with that word, that's great. Don't feel that you have to use any or all of the words, and don't feel that you have to write at any particular length either.
It could be a haiku, or it could be a really long, fast writing piece, whatever you
Prose,
like.
poetry, fiction, nonfiction, memoir, whatever comes out is good. The only way to not do this well is to simply not do anything at all. And when I said that earlier, Navi said, "Oh, but maybe you're making a statement about the empty page."
If you don't do anything, you have a blank page. So the question becomes, what will appear there sometime in the future? The future is now, right now, and what we'd like for you to do is to write for 10 minutes.
So your time starts
now. If you are pleased with what you wrote, we would really appreciate it if you would post it on our Imaginative Storm Circle community. Many of the people on our Saturday call have started to post their work there. And the way it works, you go to the Imaginative Storm Circle community. Allegra will tell you how to do that in just a second. You put your work there, and once your work goes on that platform, then we can see it. We can get to know you. And you can read our work, we can read your work, you can read the work of other people who have been on our who are on the community as well as on our calls. And eventually, maybe when you come on the Imaginative Storm Saturday gathering, we will be already familiar with your work.
And just to say, I'll give you this tour now, but the tour is also up separately on our YouTube channel, so you can always find that if you need a refresher on how to post your work. So here's how. So when you go to imaginativestorm.com, you'll see the Zoom link for the Saturday morning writing prompt of the week here, and also here. And if you continue to scroll down, you will find Join Us on Circle. Click that link. And when you get there for the first time, you will find a thing sort of appear in the top right saying join or log in or something like that. I can't remember. So you can log in with your Google or Facebook ID or create a new ID and password. It's free. And when you've done that, it will look like this. So here are 4 spaces that explain to you kind of what we're about and what we're doing here on the circle. And over on the left, you will see this area, Share Your Writing. And here's Prompt of the Week. Click on that. And you will see all the prompts of the week since we first started doing this, in order from most recent at the top. So when you get there, the most recent prompt will be posted. We have it posted by the end of the day on Saturday. And when you click on it, you'll see the prompt itself, the community list, and then whatever pieces of writing the other people who've done the prompt have posted. And those are comments attached to the post. So if you scroll down to the bottom, like so, you will get to a place where it's inviting you to make a comment. And that's where you can type out what you wrote to the prompt. I don't know if you noticed as I was scrolling through, there was one person here who actually recorded a selfie video of herself reading what she wrote, and she posted that. So feel free to do that if you would like to do that. When you've posted a comment, other people can hit like or hit reply if they want to comment specifically and say, what in the piece popped for them. Feel free to add those, those comments, those moments of praise for what other people have written. We ask you not to be critical because, as you know, these are pieces that are only written in 10 minutes. So criticism, negative criticism is really, just not relevant. What we want to know as writers is what we've created that has energy, what pops for you as a reader, what do you find surprising and intriguing? So if you have that response to a piece of somebody else's that you read here, please do hit reply and let them know. Also over here, you will see a space to post for the daily prompts that we put on social media. And here, One Last Lunch. I won't tell you much about it other than that it's a book that I contributed to. And I think it's one of the most interesting writing prompts ever devised. So I do encourage you to try that out as well.
So now you know how to post your work on the Imaginative Storm Circle. We also have some other possibilities that you might be interested in. We have 3 very helpful books that we published over the last year. The first book is How to Edit and Be Edited, written by Allegra. And then the second book is one that she and I wrote together. It's How to Read for an Audience. And we just now have finished producing, and it arrived in a box, How to Make a Speech by Barry Barton. So all 3 of these books are focused around how you take the work that you generate in these Imaginative Storm sessions, how you put that work together in ways you can give as gifts to the world. You can present it to the world. You can publish it. You can read it. You maybe might get invited to go speak at a college or a high school, and so you can give a speech about the work that you generate. So there are lots of opportunities for public presentations, and we offer a little help with that.
What I want to point out about these books is the subtitles. So how to edit and be edited. The subtitle is "And polish your work to a professional shine." So many people are really afraid of editing, of criticizing other people's work and having their own work criticized, and quite rightly so. This book gives you techniques both for giving criticism that's energizing and inspiring to the writer, and for asking and getting that criticism, that help for your own work. How to read for an audience, the subtitle is "And touch people's hearts." Many people get up to read their written work and they think that all they have to do is stand up there and open the book and find a bit and just read aloud. But that's not how you touch people's hearts, and that's not how you convert listeners into fans. That's one of the things that we really talk about in this book.
And the way you touch someone's heart when you're reading is you touch your own heart first. You touch your own interior first. You connect emotionally to the material that you've written.
Yeah.
And since it's your material, you have a background already in why it has great meaning for you, or it has meaning for you. And when you connect to that and you read it, you don't have to swing from the rafters with a great loud voice. You just have to just read it.
And you'll find if you join us on our Saturday morning calls,
Everybody's great with their readings.
We break out into breakout rooms, depending on how many people are on the Zoom. We had 4 today. And we read our work aloud to one another. You can pass if you want. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. Just say pass, move on to the next person. But that experience of reading this very freshly written work, which we're not really attached to because we only wrote it in 10 minutes. And so we all feel that it's just kind of this sort of fun little experimental thing. Nobody's going to judge us on it of what kind of are we a good writer or not. So it's actually very easy to connect to that because you're kind of weirdly unself-conscious about it. And that's very, very good practice for when you are maybe at an open mic or a bookstore reading, or, in front of a class, and reading your more, seriously finished, edited work aloud. How to make a speech is different. This is
inspire your audience.
Inspire your audience, because of course that's why you're making a speech, is you want, to people to, see your point of view, or buy your product, or understand your research, or celebrate these 2 people who are getting married, or understand your artistic vision, or, celebrate the value that your business brings to the community, all the various reasons that you might be making a speech. So this book, which I'm really, really proud of, I didn't write it. Barry Barton, the writer, is a speech coach in Asheville, North Carolina, and the director of the TEDx of Asheville. And it tells you really everything you need to know right from the start of discovering what your message is, figuring out how it can inspire an audience, and then what techniques you can use in order to bring that about.
So if you'd like to know more about our books, some of the workshops we're offering, or if you would like to know
how to join us on the Saturday morning call.
On Saturday morning, we'd love to have you. ImaginativeStorm.com is how you find that information.
And also the link to the Imaginative Storm Circle.
Yeah. So everything is there. So thank you ever so much for being with us once again. If you've been with us before, and if you're here for the first time, hey, welcome. Thank you ever so much. And we'll see you again somewhere down the line on the turnaround, maybe on Saturday morning.
All right. Great. Thank you very much. Goodbye.